Good afternoon, everyone. I am Vasuki, HOD and Assistant Professor of Business Administration, Theivanai Ammal College for Women, Autonomous Villupuram. Today, see about perception. So, first, the way in which something is regarded, understood, interpreted. So, first of all, what is meant by perception? So, perception is an intellectual process of transforming sensory stimuli to meaningful information. That is called the perception. So, it is a process of interpreting something that we see or hear in our mind and use it later to judge and give a weighted on a situation, person, group, etc. And next one is perpetual. What is mean by perception in organization? So how overview or how individual view others and how that person will behave within the business. So next one is perception divided into 4 types. One is sound, speech, taste and touch. And next thing is perpetual process. So the perception should be processed in the 4 ways. One is sensation, another one is attention, third one is interpretation, and fourth one is reaction. So sensation is nothing but it is the individual's ability to detect stimuli in the immediate environment. That comes under the sensation. And second thing is attention. So the process of placing the selected perpetual stimuli into a framework for storage. And selection. So selection is nothing but the process a person, interpretation and selection is a process a person uses to eliminate some of the stimuli that have been sensed to retain others and further processing. And fourth one is translation, that is a stage of the perpetual process which stimuli are interpreted and given meaning. And next, this is the factors influencing perception. So factors, there are 3 factors influencing perception. One is internal factors, another one is external factors, and the third one is one is internal factors. So internal factors comes under the personality, motivation. So personality means one's traits such as optimism or suspicion affect how events and people are interpreted. And motivation, what you are seeking. So that comes under the motivation. And past experience. So past events help shape expectations or influence perception. Example, someone who has experienced betrayal might be cautious. That comes under the past experience. Next one is external factors. One is intensity, size, contrast of stimulus. So if suppose the people are louder or it should be the larger, the more intense stimuli are more likely to be noticed and perceived. So stimuli that contrast with their background or with others draw attention. Example is bright red object in a grey room. And next one is types of perception. There are so many types of perception. First one is visual perception. Visual perception is nothing but it is the ability to interpret information from visible light reaching their eyes. Second one is auditory perception, the ability to identify, interpret and attach meaning to the sound. And third one is tactile perception. So that is the people or touch perception. It is ability to perceive pressure, vibration, texture and temperature through the skin contact. Then next one is olfactory and gustatory perception, the sense of smell, interpreting chemical stimuli in that air. Then social perception, the process of interpreting and understanding others people and behavior and emotion. So there are so many types of perception. And then another types of perceptions comes under the stereotyping. So stereotyping comes under the making positive or negative generalizations about group, category or people, usually based on inaccurate assumptions and beliefs and applying their generations to an individual members of the group. That comes under the stereotyping. And second one is halo effect. Halo effect comes under the drawing general impressions of individuals the basis of single characteristics. That is, if someone is good at one dimension, or he or she perceived to be good or other dimension as well, it depends upon the people behaving. That comes under the halo effect. And third one is horn effect. It's based on negative quality. We assumed the person's bad. If that is, if we perceived the whole person based on one quality, that comes under the horn effect. And next one is as recency effect. When the most recent information influence judgment, even though we have a whole of other information on the person. Then primary effect. So primary, should you trust your first impression? So that comes under the primary effect. So then selective perception, interpreting what we see based on our interest, background, experience and attitudes. Thus that comes under the selective perception. And projection. So people are attributing your own traits, feelings or motives to someone else. Then attribution error, misjudging the reasons behind someone behavior. Next real life example is brand perception influences customer choice. Witness accounts in court are perception based. First impression in interviews. Then lastly, I conclude this perception topic. Perception shapes our reality, and essential perceptions or personal and professional success. It plays a critical role in shaping our attitude, decision making, behaviors and relationships. Better perception, better communication and decisions. So influence both internal as well as the external. Like internal comes under the personality and experience, and external stimuli comes under the perception. It differs from person to person, and being aware of perpetual errors helps us to avoid misunderstandings and improve interpersonal communication. That is main conclusion comes under the perception. Thank you.